I wanted to start off with something a bit fun. I say start off, the whole presentation should be quite fun. I want to keep it interesting and engaging. Luckily, I'm not at the lunchtime hour. I'm not blocking you from anything apart from maybe a coffee break. Hopefully you guys have had coffee and are awake at this point. I'm going to talk to you about a few things, and I want you guys to really think during the session and afterwards. Everything we talk about today is about one key word, and that's experience. And I'm going to keep using that word again and again and again, and you are going to hate that word. You're going to dream about it. But I want you to do that. I want you to pay attention to that word and really understand it. What does it mean? Can I just get a quick show of hands? Is everyone here CISO or something adjacent to that? Is anyone from a different role? Nope. Any marketing, any super techie people? Interesting. Okay. Right. There is a term in psychology called thin slicing. Has anyone ever heard of thin slicing? It's a term that dictates within a narrow window of experience, we form an opinion as human beings. You guys have all done that with me. The second I walked on stage before the presentation started, a lot of people looked at me and said, I like this guy or I don't like him. And that's a fact. It's an unfortunate fact if you don't like me. If you do like me, you need to get to know me more and maybe that's going to change. But it's a fact. Experience is everything. And it's not just with human beings. It's with applications. It's with technology. The second you interact with an application, you've decided if you like it or not. And if you don't like it, it's an issue. If you're a customer, it's an issue for the business. If you're an employee, it's still an issue for the business. Quick show of hands, who here has some type of application at work that they despise interacting with? For the people that didn't raise their hands, I'm very curious to know, is it because you don't use anything? Or everything just works perfectly? But if you guys looked around, that was almost everyone in the room. Experience is key. I used a reference from the good, the bad, and the ugly, but I had to do it in reverse because it makes more sense. So I do apologize for any Clint Eastwood enthusiasts. I try my best. The ugly. Now these might look nice to you. They probably look quite small to you as well. For anyone that can't see, we have 3 types of sign-in forms for different applications. And there is a lot going on here. They ask for your name, your email address, your mother's maiden name, basically everything. If I, as a customer, were to sign up to a website or land on a website, and before I can proceed, do my checkout, anything, they ask for all of this, I'm gone. I don't want to do this. It's too much information. Now, are they things that you need to know about the customer? Absolutely. Is it the right time to ask for these sets of information? No. No, because it blocks you. Relate this to your everyday life. Who here uses social media? Instagram, Facebook, for anyone that still uses Facebook? Right, a few people. I've not used it in years. When does Instagram ever ask you to log in again? How easy is it to sign in or sign up? Right? Everything you do when it comes to implementing technologies for your customers and for yourselves should not be driven by what do my peers do? What does my industry do? It should be what does technology support? What does technology facilitate? The fact that companies like Instagram, like the Facebooks, can have these seamless logins and seamless registrations means that you can do it too. In fact, banks do it. You see the Starlings and the Monzos and the Revoluts. It's a 5-minute sign-up process. It's doable. It's just that mindset you have to get into. You move away from that tunnel vision, the black box thinking, if anyone's ever read the book, very good book. And it talks about cognitive dissonance. And that's the thing everyone in industry has. You are all executives. You are the decision makers. To an extent, at least, you might need more approvals, but you are the brains behind everything. It's understanding that the way you implement technology far outweighs everything else. Security and experience go hand in hand. And we'll talk about that. I'll get to the good first. So we looked at the ugly. That's the good. National Geographic, go on their website. All they do is ask for an email. Everything else comes later. It's so easy. I'm from a generation where we doom scroll YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, etc. Attention spans are almost zero. And that's the ugly, right? The ugly part is asking for too much information. Ask for less, do more with it. Learn to use the technologies available to you. This is still a tech track. We will get into the tech part of this slightly later on. I know everyone here is having the time of their lives talking about Instagram and whatnot, but unfortunately that's why we're here. Fortunately for the guys in the back. 75% of people will switch if they don't like the experience. In the workforce, you don't have that choice. You still have to use the applications, but you might not interact with them as much or as frequently as you should do. As a customer, if I don't like it, I'm out. Now, that number is not me. That's generated by a very small company called McKinsey, if anyone's ever heard of them. 75% is huge. And this slide here is very, very important. Security and experience go hand in hand. The more seamless that user experience is, the more secure your environment. There are less areas to go wrong, less holes, less work to do as well. And that's a very important part, because everything here will eventually relate to cost and money. Cost and time. Got money on my mind. What does every company want to do? You want to acquire customers. How do you do that? Well, you make the experience good. If it's too hard, you won't get interactions. No one wants to register. It's simple as. It takes one bad experience. We've talked about the number. 75% of people will drop out if they don't like the platform. From the start. That's it. It's that simple. There are more and more types of identity attacks. The more information you ask for, and this is something that's going to shock a lot of people, the more KYC you have on a customer, the more vulnerable everything is. Passwords are a vulnerability. We live in a day and age of FIDO2, using Face ID, passkeys, WebAuthn, etc. Your SMS OTPs are also insecure. People don't like that. They don't like hearing that. Your emails, your SMSs, they are not secure. The world has moved on. How easy is it to implement? That's the other factor, right? How seamlessly can you implement this UX, this design, the way you implement the flow? It saves costs, it saves time, it enhances security, it gives a better experience. Do less. You do more by doing less. A very, very simple reiteration of everything we've covered so far. Number one, you get the sign up. That's acquisition. You get them to come back. Your churn goes down because the customers keep coming back. They like the experience. Now, you might be in an industry which, pardon the phrasing, might be boring, but people still need it, right? Is it a commodity? Is it a necessity? What is it? People still need to interact with your platforms. Make it easy for them. They will switch. It's not always about the cost to the customer. Everything is experience. The engagement. The better the platform, the better the engagement. This is a very important one. You reduced cost for support teams. You're not having people going back to help centers. Reset my password. I don't know my KYC question. What is it? I don't know any of mine. If I were to be locked out of my banks at this moment, I'm screwed. I don't know how to get back into them. I don't remember anything. But why should I? The technologies to remember me are there. Know my device, know my location, know my face. Do that, use it. I'll keep coming back. The fraud ties into all of that. The more you know as a company about an individual, the more vulnerabilities exist for them. If there is a breach, there is more data to be leaked and more to be found out. Understand your customers. That's it. That's the key. Those first few steps from when they log in, from when they first access your application, And bear in mind, I'm talking about applications you're building, but you can pivot this. It could be applications you're implementing within your own corporation. When you do that assessment, understand this. What are those first few steps? What does it look like when you first land in on that application? What does that sign up look like? What does that registration look like? How seamless is that for the user? Not for a technical person, for someone that's not technical, and that's very important. Because outside of this room, most people are not very technical. We can figure it out. The average person might not be able to do so. And that's the person you need to cater to. The ones that don't know how to do it. That's your cash cow. So you understand everything about the flow, you understand the services they can use. Very, very important. It's all about experience. I've not said that word enough so far, and I've said it a lot. But everything is about making a good first impression. The experience, that thin slicing, that's another word you've all learnt today, so go ahead and search that when you get home. Thin slicing, that first 20 seconds, not even. If you're a millennial or Gen Z, it's probably 3 seconds. But make a good first impression in everything. There is a lot you can do with technology. In order to facilitate this, you can actually take the strain off of yourselves. There are some worried faces here I see. I see a lot of panic, I see sweat. Either you are very bored or you're thinking about this very, very hard. And the truth is, you don't need to do any of this yourselves. There is tooling out there to facilitate all of this for you, to make it more seamless to you to go from point A, wherever you guys are at the moment in your cycles of experience, to point B, to having something very, very seamless. And that's where companies like Ping come into play. And I will talk about us in just a few slides. It is still a tech track. I'm sorry. There are integrations, there are service providers available to you. Leverage their capabilities. There is no point in you developing things yourselves. You can do so. I know many of you have in-house teams with very, very intelligent people in it. But those resources can be placed somewhere else. Security is very, very important. In this day and age, cyber runs everything. It dictates the integrity, the trust of your corporation. If that trust is gone, you lose everything. You can look in the news, there have been many, many data breaches. I will not say names, but everyone is aware. That trust is now gone from the employees, from buyers as well. Understand that if you have these types of flaws or these types of potential holes within you, it's not something you need to solve yourselves. There are platforms, there are vendors out there that support those capabilities that allow you to integrate with them. Make it seamless, make it easier. Time is money, right? Everyone wants, no CFOs here, I should probably say that in that room, but time is money. It's so important to save time and allocate your resources to different areas. Don't focus on the integrations, let someone else solve that for you. Things like testing, again, things that can be facilitated by providers, by vendors. Make it a lot easier for yourselves. Innovation is always a big one as well. Internally, if you are to build these types of capabilities within your own organizations, there are going to be arguments. There are going to be disagreements, right? I see at least one laugh down there. It's the way it works. That is just business. Take that away from your company. You can literally go and say, we're going to go assess vendors to provide these solutions. You guys implement it. That's it, done. There is no argument there to be made about who's going to do it. How long is it going to take? Where is the budget going to come from? Leverage what already exists. That simple. Now, onto Ping. This isn't a presentation to talk about the platform, but I am going to highlight some of its capabilities at a very, very high level. I will tell you, I am not a salesperson. Tim's over at the back, so you can talk to him after this. The way we facilitate experience is through orchestration. Orchestration allows you to dictate the flow of any type of interaction from point A to point B. The second that you land on a platform or an application through to the point where you're logged in. That's a very narrow window, right? Because what you want users to actually interact with is what's after the login process. But it's that login or sign up process that dictates whether there will be an interaction or not. And that's very important to remember. The way we operate is if you can think it, you can do it. If you can put an idea onto paper, if you can design a logical flow, it's doable. Simple as. If that worries anyone here, don't. It's real. These do exist. And this takes us back to that point of not building things yourselves. You might allocate 20 resources to building an identity solution. We have thousands of employees that do it. And it's not just us, there are other vendors as well. It's our job to ensure that you have a seamless identity solution. We factor in all these aspects of experience, of security, of integrity. It's our job to do so. The orchestration piece, very simple. You drag, you drop. Everyone's heard of the term no code, low code, right? Usually it's a lie. No code, low code usually means you have some type of interface, but you have to do a lot of customization yourself. It's not always the case. Again, from the perspective of a vendor, our job is to provide you with a solution that gives you a quick time to market, that reduces any efforts you have to implement or you require to implement a solution. You make it easy. That's our thinking of experience as well. So it's not something we sell, it's something we do as well. Experience is everything. It's a continuous static element. It's always there. What is the main purpose of orchestration? So tying in everything that we've talked about together. The integration, you simplify that aspect, right? You enhance that user experience. You make it as seamless, as beneficial, as, I will say, entertaining to the user as well. That National Geographic sign-in was entertaining to me, right? It's interesting. I get bored very easily. If you ask me to input 20 different fields, I'm out. And I've said that, and it's the same for all of you. If anyone here actually enjoys filling out forms, the door is there. But make it easier for yourselves, for your customers. So integrations, they exist. There are vendors out there. It might be Ping, it might be someone else. But do that exploration. Free up the resources that you have internally. Free up those costs. Right? What you might see as a cost at the moment to implement this type of solution will save you money in the long run. So that's number one, very, very important. Two is that reduction in time to market. What your team of 20 will build in a year, someone already has. What they can enhance in another year, someone's already done because they have hundreds of people working on it. If you have hundreds of resources internally to manage experience, to manage identity and access management, fair enough, you're probably at the wrong talk. You guys don't need this. For everyone else, it's a consideration to be made. Save time, save money. It's always that important. And drive innovation. So this is the thing, and this is another key takeaway from this talk, is that with security vendors, we are doing a lot of exploration. We're trying to understand what the world of technology can facilitate. Everyone here is aware of things like Face ID now and Touch ID and passkeys. There is so much more to offer. And we're taking that strain off of you. It's not something you need to worry about. We will do that. And once we've done it, your job is to integrate. That's it. Leverage technologies that already exist. Don't focus on doing things yourself if it's not something you have to do. The thinking part you should do. That's something absolutely everyone here should do. Go speak to your security teams, your architects, your experience teams. Tie them together. Businesses are very siloed. They shouldn't be. Everything relates to each other. Security and experience go hand in hand. And that's it. It's very simple. So I'm going to ask you a question, right? It's a very simple question. What is the most important thing in security in platforms? It's one word. Experience. Get this man a medal. Go on, everyone else, one more time. What's the most important thing? Experience. Yeah, so enthusiastic. But no, thank you all for your time. I don't want to bore anyone. If you were bored, I do apologize. If you weren't, I also apologize because you had to sit through that. If you have any questions, you can find us outside. We are Ping Identity. We are an identity and access management vendor. If you have any questions about security in general, we're also happy to answer those. But I do want you guys to go home and think about that. Experience is key. Experience is security, and you don't have to do it yourselves. Thank you.